Hello and welcome to our advanced training on UiPath Process Mining, the product formerly known as Process Gold. After completing this course, you will be able to do four things. 1. Identify opportunities for UiPath Process Mining. 2. Describe the value of UiPath Process Mining to customers. 3. Differentiate UiPath Process Mining against the competition. And 4. Access additional resources. Let's begin with showing where process mining fits in the UiPath platform. Process mining is part of the Discover suite of products, giving customers data-driven insights and understanding of complex end-to-end processes, allowing them to continuously optimize and accelerate automations. UiPath is the only RPA vendor with a platform that combines process mining and RPA, and of course, as a process mining vendor, we're the only ones that combines process mining with RPA. This gives us unique advantages in both the RPA and the fast-growing process mining markets. This gives UiPath customers an obvious advantage because with process mining, they get a clear view of how their robots operate as part of an end-to-end process, maximizing the impact of automations. This is an important point. Not only will process mining give customers new insights into their processes, it also makes it easier for our teams to make recommendations as to how to automate these processes. And once implemented, process mining then provides the continuous monitoring capabilities to look at how automations operate as part of the process and have improved the performance of the process. This ability to turn insights into action is a unique differentiator for UiPath. However, before we go to process mining, we should introduce task mining. Task mining is a companion product to process mining and also part of the UiPath Discovery toolset. Task mining is a critical way to deliver insights on a desktop level. The task mining product records desktop-based clicks and keystrokes, and it uses artificial intelligence to analyze how people get work done, making it the most effective way to prioritize those easy-to-automate repetitive tasks with fast ROI. Then, using process mining, organizations can take a holistic approach to end-to-end process optimization that will propel their automation to greater heights. It visualizes complex end-to-end processes simply, intuitively, showing all inefficiencies and risks so that clients can discover new areas for optimization. Let's now introduce the three different buyer groups for process mining, which are similar to the buyer personas for RPA, but there are nuances. The first group is business-driven. They are the COOs and the CFOs, and you know those guys. But there also are global process owners who are concerned with business outcomes for specific processes that they own. They are concerned with the operational efficiency, reducing cost, and they would use process mining to drive digital transformation and making processes more resilient to external pressures and make the process perform better against the key performance indicators that are unique to every process. The second group are more vision-driven. You know the CIO and the CTO, but there's also the Chief Data Officer, the CDO. The CDO wants to maximize the use of data. So he or she might use process mining to tap into existing collections of highly valuable data and equip business users with data-driven insights about these processes. The third group are the RPA-driven folks, the RPA COE typically, who are looking for new ways to optimize the use of automations and to scale automation within their company, while understanding the impact of automation on the end-to-end process. Of course, there might be process mining skeptics because this technology is new. They might come from IT or business intelligence or data science. They care about good use of data and technology and IT governance in a way that doesn't interfere with their current work. They're not decision makers, but they still may raise objections. For licensing purposes in process mining, a process is defined as follows. It is an end-to-end chronological sequence of steps whose definition is extracted from enterprise applications such as ERP and CRM. In order to build this process definition, process mining uses a case ID. Every process in process mining has a unique case ID. An example of the case ID for procure to pay, for instance, is a purchase order. The case ID for the accounts payable process is a purchasing invoice. While process mining technology can be applied to many different processes, the market and our customers tend to focus on the high-impact processes, of which a sample list is shown here. Purchasing, finance, supply chain, IT, and operations are typically the departments with the most take-up of process mining solutions, but tax and HR and industry-specific departments like claims processing also find high-impact use of the technology. It is important for you to think about three key aspects of the target process at your customer. First, which department and global owner do I target? Second, what underlying systems does my customer operate? And third, what are the key performance metrics my customer is looking to impact? And this last point is homework for you as a salesperson. Just like with our value-based approach to selling RPA, you should know what the key metrics are for each process you are discussing with your customer. For example, purchase-to-pays metrics include overall cycle time, the time it takes to complete a transaction, or straight-through ratio, the percentage of transactions that process without an exception. You can appreciate that these metrics can be impacted by increased insights and automations. And the reason the global process owner for P2P will want to talk to you is because you can demonstrate how process mining and RPA can positively impact those metrics. Process mining, as mentioned, can be used on almost any process and in combination with any system. However, our sales strategy will focus on a select number of processes and systems. For this reason, we have divided processes into three tiers. Tier 1 processes are processes we know well, and in many cases an out-of-the-box connector is available. Additional benefits to you as a salesperson for using Tier 1 processes with regards to proof of values and pilots will be discussed on the subsequent slide. Tier 2 processes are processes that we have limited experience with, but we know the underlying systems well, so it is reasonable to assume that we can engage effectively with the customer about Tier 2 processes. And then there's Tier 3 processes, and these are processes that we have very limited knowledge of. They tend to be very custom to a customer or simply of lower impact. Our process mining sales efforts will mainly focus on Tier 1 and Tier 2 processes. More information on the three tiers can be found in additional resources at the end of this presentation. Here is an overview of the processes that fall into the three tiers. Tier 1 includes purchase to pay and accounts payable specifically for SAP. Tier 2 processes include various financial and operational processes for SAP, Oracle, ServiceNow, and JD Edwards. And Tier 3 covers all the other processes and systems, especially homegrown applications and systems. There are several nuances to the process mining sales motion that are important for you to understand. First off, especially for Tier 2 processes, a data discovery workshop might be set up by your pre-sales team to help establish the specifics of the customer's intended data sets. The next stage can either involve a proof of concept or a pilot. A POC is a 2 to 5 day pre-sales event demonstrating the viability of UiPath process mining using a limited customer data set, but is only possible for Tier 1 processes that we know well. The alternative option is a pilot, which is a 2-week paid engagement that is only applicable to Tier 2 and 3 processes. A partner might play a role in a pilot also. The service delivery project is a project to implement one process. Again, a partner may take the lead to drive this implementation. Of course, there's no one path to process mining implementation or sales, and a combination of these various tools may be necessary depending on the requirements and situation of the prospect. The sales structure for process mining differs slightly from the usual UiPath sales structure. An overlay team of process mining sales specialists is being added to help drive and support you with process mining specific knowledge and access to our process mining community. You, as the owner of the account, will continue to lead the conversation with the prospect. You will own the opportunity, but the sales specialist brings extra know-how and support for process mining opportunities or deals that have PM SKUs in them. Let's now look into the unique value of process mining for our customers. The client is already running a successful automation program, but they would like to do more. For instance, how can they maximize the ROI from automation? How can they optimize how robots, systems, and people interact in a process? Or how can they engage business users to realize change? Or, ultimately, how can they accelerate and scale their RPA program? The answer lies in processes. Most people have an idea how a process runs, but digging deeper, the process isn't as straightforward as you might think. Trends, patterns, and details of how an entire process runs are waiting to be discovered. Let's look into how it works. The first step of process mining is connecting it to the data sources. UiPath process mining can be connected to many different IT systems. The most common you will come across are SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Oracle, JD Edwards, or Microsoft product suites. Using event logs, the data is then transformed into a process graph, allowing customers to visualize their end-to-end processes holistically, revealing all process bottlenecks, deviations, inefficiencies, and risks. Our ready-to-use process mining template, called App 1, contains predefined dashboards so you can look at your process from different perspectives. For example, which part of the process is automated? Or how fast is the process executed and did we meet all our deadlines? Does the process conform to the model? Or how do different teams, countries, or users interact in the process? Process mining allows users to go from a helicopter view of the end-to-end process to the deepest details. This makes it easy to understand what is happening by viewing individual process instances and process steps. Customer-specific business logic can be added in the form of tags and KPIs. These make the desired business outcomes explicit and make it easier to see whether you are meeting those or not. Example KPIs include invoice processing time, purchase order cycle time, or percentage of non-conforming processes. Tags are a unique feature of UiPath process mining. They make it possible to define process-specific outcomes that you want to prevent. Examples are SLA violations or separations of duties concerns. The great value of process mining lies in its extensive continuous monitoring capabilities, allowing businesses to constantly have a view of their process to optimize how their robots, people, and systems interact. There are two parts to continuous monitoring and improvement. The first is understanding the process. For instance, how does automation perform in the context of the end-to-end process? The second is to optimize the process using those insights, taking steps to strengthen the interactions between robots, people, and systems. The product contains features to facilitate continuous monitoring of the process, like compare bars and history charts. They make it easy to see the impact of changes on a regular basis, every month, every week, or every day. Continuous monitoring allows you to evaluate your automations in the context of the end-to-end process and compare processes over 2 time periods to better understand the impact of changes. When you make changes to one step in your process, it's often hard to predict how it will affect the whole system. With process mining, you can see exactly that. Process mining gives you the ability to see whether new bottlenecks have emerged after implementing automation and what the overall impact is on your end-to-end process. Process mining was created for business users, and no technical background is required for a process user license. Using intuitive, easy-to-use visualizations and dashboards, users are engaged as active participants in process optimization. This activates them to work towards clear common goals to step-by-step improve the whole end-to-end process. Optimizations can come in the form of ideas for new automations or new ways to work better with the current automations. The platform has role-based access and easy KPI dashboards that were designed for business users. This allows the people directly involved in the process to be the drivers of continuous process improvement. In summary, process mining accelerates the automation flywheel by providing 1. A holistic view of end-to-end processes, 2. Continuously monitoring and improving those processes, and 3. democratizing insights to process users to drive process automation on an ongoing basis. In summary, process mining accelerates the automation flywheel by providing 1, a holistic view of end-to-end processes, 2, continuously monitor and improve those processes, and 3, democratize insights to process users to drive process automation all the way to the user level. So, in summary, how does process mining contribute to the customer value drivers? First, it allows you to continuously monitor and optimize the customer's processes for operational efficiency. Second, better, more efficient internal and external processes leads to an improved customer experience. Third, better processes mean the customer's teams are working at their optimal best. And 4, process mining leads to stronger, more resilient processes. Processes aren't static. They need to be continuously adjusted to keep up with internal and external developments. Process mining gives you an X-ray view of your processes at all times. For process mining, we offer the following 3 licensing types: a license per process user, a license per developer user, and a license per process mined process. The process user can view dashboards to get insights in their processes and can monitor them over time. The developer user can set up the data extraction and transformation to make process mining possible. And for each process the customer wants to mine, a process license has to be acquired. And in addition, a non-production version is available of this last license if customers want a separate development or testing environment for that particular process. Finally, to make starting with process mining easier, each new customer can acquire the appropriate services either from UiPath or from one of our licensed partners. To make this easy, we have developed a process mining starter pack, which is available in the various additional resources. I hope this information was valuable to you. Many thanks for attending this course, and of course, happy mining.